January 12th, 2026, episode 623. This is episode 623. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. Shall we? Massachusetts school driver charged with kidnapping students, allegedly disabled cameras.
Police say 54-year-old Reddy Gase of Worcester worked with a transportation company contracted with Grafton Public Schools. Police say a parent sounded the alarm just 2 days before Christmas after her nonverbal 5-year-old son was dropped off a half hour late. The transportation company tried reviewing the bus's cameras, but police say the interior school bus camera was not operational and the front-facing camera was covered. The bus's GPS tracking system was working, and authorities claim it showed Gase pull down Abbey Road. It's a half-developed cul-de-sac where he parked for more than 20 minutes.
So we don't know what he was doing or why he was doing it. No video, no audio. Then to find out that he deviated from his route prior to this particular incident is negligence. It's opening a door for something potentially terrible to happen. Clearly the guy's a wacko. If he'll stop somewhere off the beaten path, I don't care if it's to smoke a cigarette, make a phone call, or just steal extra time on the pay clock. They shouldn't have given him a chance to teach them the same lesson twice. A Grafton, Massachusetts school bus driver was arrested and charged with kidnapping and reckless endangerment of a child Tuesday night. The driver, 54-year-old Reddy Gase of Worcester, allegedly deviated from his route with students in the vehicle and made unauthorized stops, according to Grafton School Superintendent James Cummings. According to court paperwork, Gase blocked or turned off his bus's cameras on 2 different occasions in December. In both cases, he had one child on board, and while the cameras were disabled, he allegedly took that child to a road that was not on his route.
Police say there is audio of that 5-year-old boy crying, but the sound goes out 10 minutes after the bus was turned off.
We are in shock and kind of disturbed with the news.
Neighbors who live around Abbey Road are deeply concerned as police learned it not only happened to one student, but 2. Authorities discovered another incident while combing through weeks of GPS data, alleging Gase took a 3-year-old girl down Abbey Road a few days earlier for no explained or legitimate reason. Evidence suggested Gase first tampered with the bus cameras weeks prior.
When those cameras go dark for any reason, a bell, a notification, something should ring at the school, the bus company, and the police department. The first instance of him tampering with the cameras, they should have bounced his ass out of there. Now, if you're the school and bus company, you're out here looking goofy, you have to answer a lot of questions from a lack of being more proactive. The blanket statement is always, we care about the safety of the kids, when in all actuality, the first time should have been his last time. Get him the hell out of there. This isn't some crappy DoorDash driver that has to pull over to blow into his interlock device. These are people's children that you're allowing him to take liberties with. The alleged victims are a 5-year-old boy who is nonverbal and a 3-year-old girl. This is infuriating. Police say a parent sounded the alarm just 2 days before Christmas after her son was dropped off a half hour late. Can you imagine that parent going through it, wondering what happened to her child? The bus company, AA Transportation, said it investigated the complaint, shared the results with the school and police, and asked police to investigate it further, but no firings, no suspensions, no disciplinary action was on file. The company tried reviewing the bus's cameras, but police say the interior bus camera was not operational and the front-facing camera was covered. The bus's GPS tracking system was working, the one thing on the bus that does work, and authorities claim it showed Gase pull down Abbey Road, a half-developed cul-de-sac, and park for more than 20 minutes. I was thinking maybe it's a medication thing. Maybe he has some type of medical condition, but he would have said something. Police say there is audio of the boy crying, but the sound goes out 10 minutes after the bus was turned off. That's terrifying for the parents and for that little boy that's experiencing this firsthand. Police discovered another incident while combing through weeks of GPS data. They allege Gase took a 3-year-old down Abbey Road a few days earlier for no explained or legitimate reason. Evidence suggested Gase first tampered with the cameras weeks prior. I think it would have been different if he phoned ahead and said something like power lines are down on the street, car accident, I'm going to take Avenue B instead of Avenue A. That's different. That's communication. But he's just pulling over and going dark for 20, 30 minutes. Anything can happen. Anything could have happened. We don't know. There should really be zero tolerance for that. Gase was employed by AA Transportation. He was not assigned to general student transportation routes. So the best way I describe that is he's a floater. He's a fill-in. He's a utility guy. He's an as-needed guy by situation, according to police. He's been charged with 2 counts of kidnapping, reckless endangerment of a child under 18. So much for that background check that you tried to hide behind as an excuse for why you didn't get rid of him in the first place, misleading a police investigation and tampering with evidence. The investigation is ongoing and additional charges may be forthcoming. Oh, please do. Grafton police said Gase was arraigned in Westboro District Court on Wednesday and is being held on $50,000 bail. If he posts bail, he will be placed on house arrest with GPS monitoring. If he doesn't tinker that and turn that off too, right? We're in direct communication with the families impacted and are offering support and resources as needed. Cummings said in a statement, we are working closely with the Grafton Police Department and AA Transportation. Families with specific questions are encouraged to contact the Grafton Police Department. In a statement, AA Transportation said the driver passed state and federal background checks. That doesn't mean anything. A lot of serial killers didn't have a record until you caught them being serial killers, and was certified by the Massachusetts RMV School Bus Division. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. Background checks be damned. I think that's a piss poor excuse to try to cover your ass. He could have been a horrible person that just wasn't caught being horrible yet. Past results don't always guarantee future performance. Investigators search alleged grave robbers at Frata, Pennsylvania home, removing human remains.
A man named Jonathan Gerlach broke into an unknown number of graves, mausoleums, and above-ground vaults here at Mount Moriah Cemetery and stole human remains, according to investigators. We have video into our newsroom in the last hour showing investigators crawling about Gerlach's home in Ephrata. Police confirm the coroner there from Lancaster County is removing remains and will hold them until they are positively identified. They also confirm in court papers additional bones and 8 corpses were discovered in a storage locker.
Not surprising to me, this isn't the first person from the good old Keystone State to get caught collecting human remains obtained in a dubious fashion. Back in 2023, you had the story of Jeremy Lee Pauley, who is currently appealing his 6-year sentence. He was caught buying body parts via Facebook Marketplace from Candace Chapman Scott, who worked for a mortuary in Arkansas. They caught him with fetuses, brains, hearts, lungs, genitalia, and other body parts. I told you Pennsylvania people are weird. Investigators say the case against Jonathan Gerlach, with allegations he stole more than 100 human remains, is something they've never seen. He literally had skeletons in his closet. They alleged the 34-year-old Lancaster County man broke into an unknown number of graves at Mount Moriah Cemetery, which spans southwest Philadelphia and the borough of Yaton in Delaware County. and stole sets of remains. Investigators spent all day Friday at Gerlach's home in Ephrata. Police confirmed the Lancaster County coroner is removing the remains and will hold them until they are positively identified. Police also confirmed, just tripping over bones. Police also confirmed in court papers that additional bones and 8 corpses were discovered in a storage locker. Meanwhile, at Mount Moriah, the graves Gerlach allegedly preyed on are old, ornate mausoleums and large crypt-like vaults, many from the 1800s.
Police say Gerlach admitted to taking 30 sets of remains from Mount Moriah and storing them inside his Ephrata home.
You know, it was horrendous. Rest in peace means rest in peace, and unfortunately these people are not resting in peace anymore, and we're trying to put this all back together as best as we can.
And they said he had pictures on Facebook of him with bones, telling people to DM him. He has bones for sale. I checked his page, it's still up, but either himself, law enforcement, or someone else has stripped it. There's only a few photos. According to AB6 News 6, they are also investigating a Facebook group titled Human Bones and Skull Selling Group, a little too on the nose bone, Gerlach, where Gerlach was tagged and pictured holding a skull. You can't be on Facebook, aka the police, holding the work like that and taking pictures. They allege he used a crowbar, ropes to rappel, and ladders to climb down into and access caskets. You're 34 years old. This is the best hustle you could come up with, robbing graves. Police said he then broke into the caskets and stole remains. In November, police got a tip from the Friends of Mount Moriah. Investigators said they were able to lift DNA off an energy drink can that was left behind in a grave. I guess exhuming dead bodies is very thirsty work. Police then set up a sting and arrested Gerlach after they said he broke into even more graves. Now, the way it's described is the cemetery is so massive. It's not like no one was paying attention. It's just so big that he had so much space, so many graves to work with.
We learned that selling and buying human bones is perfectly legal in most states.
And investigative reporter Liz Crawford looked into this for us. Wow. That's
yeah, you know, it's the majority of states, unless, of course, there is a crime involved. Now, we're told that someone who buys any type of human remains that has been obtained illegally could also face charges.
Now, if we know of him and Jeremy Lee Pauley, which are two people more than I care to know about who's out there stealing bones in this world, then there are way more people into it than just them two. There's a demand for human remains, a market for it, a black market for it, because you can actually buy bones legally on the internet. So I don't know if they have to be in a certain condition or if they're just cheaper black market bones, whether it's for rituals, work some dark mojo on your asshole boss, decorations, a nice conversation piece for when your family comes to visit, or just to make a hearty stew out of a femur or two. Could be a mix. He was found to be in possession of human remains when taken into custody, according to investigators. The chief of Yaden police said they wanted to catch Gerlach red-handed. Hey, you put that hip bone down and lay flat on your belly. Police said Gerlach admitted to taking 30 sets of remains from Mount Moriah and storing them inside his Ephrata home. You know he doesn't have a girlfriend or any significant other to just be hoarding bones like this. Everyone there could not believe what they observed in that house. Yaden Police Chief Henry Giacarmo said, I bet human remains in an area where they were all over the place. It was very troubling, like a hoarder with newspapers, except his bones. It was horrendous. Rest in peace means rest in peace. Unfortunately, these people aren't resting in peace anymore, and we are trying to piece and put this back together as best we can. All I could picture when he was saying that was them trying to fit skeleton bones back together in the wrong places. Some of the graves were still visibly disturbed and some even still open. The Baker Mausoleum had fresh concrete ceiling and entryway. At this resting place, Gerlach is alleged to have taken 16 sets of human remains just farming. Investigators will now begin identifying the remains in hopes of returning them to their resting place. Yaden police are asking people with loved ones buried at Mount Moriah in above ground type vaults and mausoleums to reach out to them at this email address, hgmarco@yadenpd.org. That's what's really messed up. And you pay so much for those resting places and it's not even safe. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. If it was just a few bones, I would have thought Buddy was setting up the skeletons around a small table for a tea party. But when they said 100 sets of remains, I knew off the rip he's selling them or attempting to sell them. Even if he used them for his own personal purposes, there's no need for that many. That's what tells me there's a demand for this, a black market demand. What do you think they're being used for? Decorations? Rituals? Fun show. The music for this episode is from Rob EVN. Get your music from Rob EVN. I'll leave the contact information down here at the bottom. If you're a producer and you would like to have your music featured on an episode of this podcast, reach out to me on any one of my socials. I'll leave that information up here at the top. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Find me wherever you watch or listen to your favorite podcast. I am there. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Jusqu'à la prochaine fois. As the investigation continues, families with specific questions are encouraged to contact